What's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to this episode. I want to go ahead and start doing these quick kind of like play recaps with you guys. I also want to do them so that you guys can learn something, so that I can learn something. Um, yeah, so let's go ahead and let's get started. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. So the ticker that I want to recap for this video is going to be ChargePoint, ticker CHPT. I got into this play. This was about a 5-6 day hold for me. Ended up taking a 242% gain on this one. So kind of real quick, my trading style is going to be pure price action with a combination of patterns. I don't really use indicators, EMAs, MACDs, or any of that stuff. Volume indicator, none of that. The only thing that I like using is the RSI on the 4-hour chart. The reason for that is because I like to see the bearish or bullish divergence that get formed on the bigger time frame. And then I go ahead and then start moving my way on down to the smaller time frames. Again, on this top left corner, I got my 4-hour chart. On the top right corner, I have my 1-hour chart. And then down below, I have my 15-minute chart. Sometimes I will have this on the 5-minute, just depending on how precise I want to go ahead and get in on my trades. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's get started with this one. So for this one, for ChargePoint, obviously the main thing was that I clearly started to see what price was starting to do here. I noticed that we had hit a bottom down here, multiple times, which is around $11.27 roughly. And then after that, we kind of pushed to the upside, and we did break this previous high. So that was a break of, market structure, and was followed immediately by this big green candle. So that, to me, when I saw that, was a break and the push to the upside. I immediately noticed that there was a bit of an imbalance in the market, and I knew that eventually the market was going to have to come down and address this imbalance. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn on my patterns and my support and resistance so you guys can kind of see what I was looking at. So again, we saw a bit of a demand zone right here, kept coming down to it, pushed up, and then we got that imbalance candle after the breakout. Okay, once I was on there, obviously I was monitoring the 1 hour as well, and I like to have, again, this is my setup for every single ticker, whether I'm live trading or just charting, because then I can kind of see confluence between all of the trades and what they're doing near support, near resistance, near supply and demand zones. It just kind of helps me to visually just put everything together. So again, one thing that I did notice here was, again, that big green candle, which on the 1 hour I did notice was that push to the upside. On the 15-minute down here, I do have a bit of a demand zone right here. So I knew that once price came to the upside, it did have to have some sort of push to the downside to retest this area. And at the same time, you guys can clearly see, if I do this, that you get a little bit of a bull flag right here. So we got the pull, we got the flag, we got the breakout. I did not play this breakout here, but I did scalp once it broke market structure. I did scalp for about a 30 to 40% gain on this one, and then I got out. It started to consolidate and push down a little bit, which gave us our next impulse leg to the upside, or another bull flag. Again, we got a pull, we got a flag, we got a breakout. I didn't play anything on this breakout here. I was just watching it at this point. And that's what sometimes what I will do is, if I'm not too sure of what the market is doing, I will just let it play out, and I will just watch and then I just started to chart. So in this case, I noticed that once it broke out, we did get a higher low, right? We got a higher low, pushed to the upside, got another higher low, pushed to the upside, and so at this point I was just charting. I wasn't playing anything. I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and buy now that it's moving up. No. So all I did was I simply put a resistance line because I noticed that price was having a hard time going up, right? Also, if I go ahead and turn on my RSI, I can clearly see that price was moving up, but the RSI failed to make higher highs. So that started to give me an indication of a bit of a cool down in buying pressure. So what I did was I did notice finally we broke this previous break of structure. I didn't get in yet. I waited for this one to break. I wanted to be sure. So we finally got a breakout right here at about 1708 was the break. As soon as we broke that, I did take up a small position. We did flush to the downside, and then we started pushing up. Okay, now why did it start pushing up right here, or why didn't I cash out or get out of my position or anything? Was because simply I noticed that that push correlated with this breakout right here. So you see, pushed up, retested, and pushed up again to the upside. Now, the reason why I did not let go of my position was because I did notice a bear flag forming. Okay, so we got the leg down, we got the push up, and once it broke this bear flag right here, this was my position to add a few more positions to my few more contracts to my position. So that's what I did. We got a flush down. We saw a little bit of consolidation, so there was market structure right there. We did get a push. However, there was a couple of reasons why I did not cash out. One, price wasn't even coming near this breakout area, so that was one confirmation for me to be like, okay, cool, I see buyers are stepping in, but there's not a whole lot of buying pressure coming in, and it's just kind of staying here within this range. And then after that, it did start to form this descending triangle right here. This was on a Friday. We closed, so I held on to my positions based off of this descending triangle. And then the next day we did get a bit of a gap down, and we pushed to the downside. We did get this big candle right here, this green one, and we did get a bit of a retest at this breakout level right here of support. And so that was another reason for me to not let go of my position yet. This is a doji candlestick, so there was still a little bit of indecision forming here. But I went ahead and I held on to my position based off of what I was seeing here. And so, as you guys can tell, then we got another flush to the downside. We did break this order block right here, and we did break below it, and we flushed to the downside. Now, the reason why I played puts up here was because I did notice this gap that we got, and so that was my target. I wanted to play this gap, but I wanted to wait for the right time. I wanted to see market give me that that indication that it was on its way to the downside. As soon as this triggered right here, I did take that 242%, and I'll see if I can put that up on the screen for you guys. The other thing also that confirmed not just the patterns, but the reason why I held was because I did notice that there was a bit of a head and shoulders pattern forming right here. Right? So you guys can clearly see if I get rid of this. Here we go. So we got left shoulder, head, right shoulder, forming a bear flag, and then flush to the downside. So that was also another indicator of why I decided to hold on to that. So yeah, that was pretty much it here. I was using obviously the bigger time frames as well. I did get a couple of inside bars that I was keeping that I was staying aware of, and I did hold because of the inside bars kept breaking also to the downside, so that was another confluence there that I kept keeping my eye on. We do have a bit of a double, not a double bottom exactly, but we have a low right here, and then we got a higher low right now, and it is going into this order block right here. So I'm not in any position right now. I'm just going to continue to watch it. Again, I try to be as patient as I possibly can and try to wait for market to give me some sort of sign of whether it's going to continue down or it's going to reverse. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and comment down below. If you guys like the video, you guys want me to keep doing more of these like breakdowns, go ahead and hit a like, subscribe. That way you guys are notified of when I upload more videos. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one.